Good morning. Today we're beginning a brand new series called Half-Truth. Over the next 5 weeks, we're going to look at some popular beliefs in culture that are half-true and kind of right. A half-truth is a statement that includes some element of truth, but in leaving out the rest of the truth, it brings about a deception. A half-truth often leads us to embrace a whole lie. And if we fully embrace these half-truths, they will bring us to the wrong destination. Like if you punch in the wrong address or half the address on your smartphone or your navigation system in your car, you're not going to end up where you want to be. So we're going to examine some of the half-truths of our culture. And this coincides with some feasts in the church that clarify what we believe as Catholics and followers of Christ. Today is the Feast of the Ascension, when we celebrate that Jesus ascended into heaven. Next week is Pentecost, and the following week is Trinity Sunday. These celebrations serve as reminders of whole truth, which refutes some of the half-truths of our culture. As examples, all religions are the same. You don't need a church to connect with God. God won't give you more than you can handle. Today, we want to talk about one that might be the most controversial of them all. Here is the half-truth. There are many ways to God. It doesn't matter what you believe because there are many ways to God. When people say that there are many ways to God, essentially they're asserting that the major religions have truth in them. Many religions contain truth about the good, the true, and the beautiful, which are all a reflection of God. They're saying that we ought to respect and learn from other religions. That's true. Often when people say that there are many ways to God, they mean that there are many ways to experience God, which is certainly true. You can definitely experience God in nature, or in a community of people, or in your own personal prayer time. But here's the whole truth. There's only one way to God. There's only one way to have a relationship with God, and that's through the person of Jesus Christ. It's not a popular statement. In many ways, it may seem like it's narrow-minded. In our culture, it seems intolerant. But here's the deal. In saying that Jesus is the only way to God, we're not saying that we're somehow superior, but that Jesus is superior. That he has a special relationship with God because he is the Son of God. And as the gospel says, all power in heaven and on earth has been given to him. Or how about, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except through me. There are not many ways to God. There's only one way to get home to God, through the person of Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus said to the disciples with his parting words before he ascended into heaven, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always until the end of the age." That's good news. So tell everyone. I believe that all these other religions have proven that we cannot alone overcome death on our own, since all their founders have also gone that way. They're dead. The founder of every major religion is deceased, except our guy, Jesus Christ. But there is a profound difference between the way that other religions tell us to seek salvation and the way described in the gospel. All other major faiths have founders who are teachers that show the way to salvation. The answer is some kind of performance, something you do. Be good, and then God will save you and get you into heaven. Be good, and then you will be redeemed. The good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ, is that you and I are accepted by God, not because of our efforts or what we've done, but because of what Jesus Christ has done for us. The good news is that even though we're deeply flawed and messed up individuals, God loves us so much that he sent his Son to die for us. The good news of the gospel is that I don't have to be good enough to be accepted by God, but that as I accept what Jesus did for me on the cross, God will make me good so that I might do his work and spread his gospel, his good news. The founders of every other major religion came as teachers. They were going to show us the way to God through right moral teachings. But Jesus says, I am the way. Come to me. Live in relationship with me, and I will give you life. Why on earth would Jesus have gone to the cross? Why in the world would God send his only Son to earth to suffer like that? Because it was the only way he could put back in right relationship our relationship with God the Father. The assumption there being many ways to God is this. It assumes that we make the roads to God. It assumes that the way to God or right relationship with God is something we do. If that was true, it would be very arrogant for us to say that there's only one way to God. But God made the road back to him, and he has given us one road, the person of Jesus Christ. Now that might raise a question in your mind. What about all the people who don't hear about Jesus Christ? When you say that there's only one way to God, are you saying that all Buddhists or Muslims or Hindus and people of other faiths are going to hell? No, we're not saying that. Actually, the Catechism of the Catholic Church covers that, and it says, trust God, since they are his creation as well. Understand this. It's okay to acknowledge the beauty and truth of other religions, but because they all point to the one truth of Jesus Christ. The point being that if those good people are saved, they're still saved through the person of Jesus. Whether they know it or not in this life, Jesus died for them. This matters because until we really believe that Jesus is your only way back to God, that he is our only salvation, our faith will only be a category. When you believe you desperately need a relationship with Jesus Christ to get back in a relationship with God, church and prayer and spiritual disciplines will not be something you do and just do in your leisure time. Rather, they'll become very, very personal. Also, this salvation through Jesus alone knowledge should intensify our commitment to connect others with the person of Jesus. If Jesus is the way back to God, then out of love for the people around us, is it not vital that we introduce them to him? But the half-truth says, if there are many ways to God, then it's okay if they go their own way and don't have a relationship with Jesus. Listen, if you had the cure for cancer and the whole world had cancer, would you feel arrogant in telling other people about the cure? Would you tell them anyway? We know the cure to what most ails the human heart. Share the cure.